Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This is a comment section video, and this is when someone leaves a comment under one of my videos and I feel it worthy to make a video out of it so that other survivors who may be thinking similar questions or be in a similar space can, get some answers as well. All right. So I'm looking for the question here. This question was put under a video that I wrote about examining loneliness. All right. So their question is, and I'm going to read it here from Lou V. They said, I have a question. I'm still trying to understand the narc. If they are mean, evil, and bad people, which I know they are, why are they with someone? Well, we are alone and lonely. I think they meant while we are alone and lonely. Why are we crying while they are laughing? Why are they going on with their lives where we can't seem to move forward? We are good with a good heart, and we are getting penalized for being kind. As for them, they are evil, and life is so good for them. So no thought about us or how they hurt us. Sometimes I think maybe being a bad person gets more benefits than trying to always do right. I'm so confused. All right, so let's go over this because there's a lot of questions in here. So I'm going to go ahead and answer each one in the most simplified way that I can. All right. So let's go. I'm going to break it down now as we read. I have a question. I'm still trying to understand the narc. Okay. You're never going to understand everything, Luvi. Okay. And be okay with not having all of the answers. But know that you know what you need to know. And I say this in other videos, that this person is toxic, that narcissists, period, are toxic, and it's not what you want in your life. Okay. So you're never going to understand every rhyme and reason for their actions on every level. But let's continue on. If they are mean, evil, and bad people, which I know they are, why are they with someone? Because they have identity problems, Luvi, and they have low self-esteem, actually, Luvi. So with their identity problems, they like to get with other people so that they can find their identity through them in a certain sense. And this is also supply that they're getting. They like to get with other people to get things from them, even if it's just to have their ego stroked. Or a lot of times is to get money and material things. Or it can be sexual. It could be a little bit of all of that. So they need other people to make them feel good about themselves, or to give them the illusion that they are something that they aren't, because narcissists do have low self-esteem. They create a fake mask, but they need other people to buy into that mask. So they need other people to validate themselves, ironically, as to where a lot of times the survivors are looking for validation as well. Narcissists are looking for validations as well, and they do this through other people. Tricking and conning people into believing there's something, or good people that they aren't. Okay, and then when you find out they're not who they are, privately they'll just use you as a dumping ground because they have nothing to lose at that point if you do not, discard them or go no contact and keep them out of your life. All right, so they need people to validate their false mask and to make them feel better about themselves and their low self-esteem. The next question. While we are lonely and alone. Okay, so you're always going to be lonely and alone if you are interacting with such a toxic person, okay, because they're not really connecting with you in any positive sense that's going to make you feel like you're having any type of intimacy. And we all know that intimacy is beyond sexual interactions. And he says, while we are crying, they are laughing. And that's because they're not emotionally attached to the dirty things that they're doing to other people. It's justified in their minds, and they don't have the kind of guilty conscience that we would have when we do things that, you know, are immoral by society standards or that are dishonest. They're false masks that they're hiding behind. They're letting that lead the way, and that makes it justified, or they dilute it to make it as though they were justified, or that they didn't even do it. They'll even go that far in their disillusion to not even believe that they did the stuff that they red-handedly did. So they're able to laugh at it, and they're not taking it the same. They don't actually love you and care about you to begin with. So they treat people as items and things. So if it's an item or a thing, it's like a toy or a game that can be played with and thrown out in the trash or sold or, you know, traded in for something else. This is how we treat items and things, and this is how narcissists treat real human beings. So yeah, they're able to laugh and while you're crying, because it's not hurting them the way that it's hurting you. You're the one that got emotionally connected to them and started loving them and having care. It was never reciprocated. So that's how they're able to do this. You said, why are they going on with their lives where we can't seem to move forward? Narcissists are able to accept endings in a certain sense. And they're detached. So if you have a detached type of personality, you can drop things in a moment's notice and just move on to the next, you know, because you're detached. So narcissists are actually detached in a certain sense. They're detached in a certain sense, and that allows them to be able to move on. Now, the codependent or the survivor, it's different for them. They actually thought they were having a real relationship. They actually grew attachments to the toxic person. So when it's ending, a lot of times there's resistance because everything is still coming full circle. You may not even be actually realizing the full scope of what you were actually dealing with. And you have to detach your emotions. You have to come off of your emotions. They don't have to come off of their emotions per se. Not the emotions of love and care. And that's what make the detachment harder to do, when you have to come off of those emotions that you have for that person. All right. They knew they were future faking. They knew that it was going to eventually end. They were already making that exit strategy. So yes, they're able to just move forward because they were planning for that from day one. They knew that eventually the gig will be up. It's just a matter of how long will they be able to con you and pretend with you. All right. The next thing you said is, we are good with a good heart and we are getting penalized for being kind. Let's just stop there. I disagree with that statement. You're not being penalized for being kind. Sometimes, you know, and I had to tell this actually to my children. People aren't being punished for being kind. They may have a consequence for being naive and kind, but it wasn't the kindness, it was the naiveness, it was the ignorance, it was not seeing the red flags, it was not listening to your discernment, it was continuing to stay in a toxic situation, it was not loving yourself, you know, perhaps low self-esteem. So people always think it's the kindness. No, it was just sent in the wrong direction. It was just given to the wrong person. And once we find out, you know what, this person isn't worthy, we don't then try to fix them or give them more, you know, to try to change the situation around. We have to stop at that point, or else now we're going to be taken for a ride and we're going to be used and abused. So it wasn't a good heart. It was the naiveness. It was the mentality attached to it. All right. Because I still have a good heart, but I see angles and I make sure, you know, to my best ability that I get what I deserve in life. I'm not afraid to speak up for myself. I don't take anybody's BS. I'm not going to be staying in no toxic relationships. I'm going to command that I'm reciprocated and respected, or else you can go. So when these things aren't present, but you have a good heart, meaning you're a giver, you want to do for other people, you're going to end up doing for the wrong people because you have not let the right people into your life. or gotten rid of the wrong ones out of it. So that is the issue. All right. Now, the next thing you said is they are evil and life is good for them. No, that's a perception. We don't always get a front row seat to what's going on with the narcissist. They do tend to, they're going to gravitate towards people they think are shiny. So they want to be around successful people, or that people in society would think, you know what, this person is about something. This person is doing something. And maybe this person excels in their career, but they may not be good in their personal life. They may have some things to learn about themselves. And that's why they were able to not only attract the narcissist, but thrive with the narcissist. As far as get in that relationship and stay in it. It's something that they have to learn as well, just like you did. So life is not good for them. They have a lot of broken pieces within themselves that they never take the time to heal. So life for them is actually quite shallow. Can you imagine a life without love? A life of constant low self-esteem? A life of needing other people to validate and uplift and, take care of at times for the narcissists that just want to be taken care of. So life is not good. It just depends on your shallow definition of it. If you think, well, this narcissist has material things and that makes life good for them when they don't have love, inner or outer. So it depends. That's a perception thing. But life is not good for them. And you don't always get to see their karma. You don't always get that front row seat. So, of course, they're going to post the best things about their life online. All right. The next thing you said is with no thought about us and how they hurt us. Why would they want to think about that? That's not very pleasant. It goes against their false mask. And they don't want to see themselves that way. They will run away from anything that will make them face themselves. They're spending their whole lives doing this. So yeah, they're not going to think about it. They're detached. This is where that detachment comes in handy. And since they never actually loved and care about you, it's quite easy to detach. And like I said, you're an object. You're supply to them. All right. So the next thing you said is sometimes I think maybe being a bad person gets more benefits than trying to always do right. Well, this is what you can take from the narcissist. They go for what they want. You go for what you want now. And be willing to, quote unquote, discard the things that aren't worthy of you, that doesn't deserve you. You can take that page out of the narcissist book. Go for what you want, but you don't have to want to con people. You don't have to go about it the way the narcissist does. But they are cocky enough to go for what they want. You be cocky enough to do that as well. Instead of, a lot of times survivors are trying to force the issue of a toxic person. If you actually want a healthy relationship, you need a healthy person to do that with. So, have the confidence in your life to go for what you want and let go of the things that aren't. All right. So the last thing you said is, I'm so confused. Well, hopefully, me breaking this down is help you become less confused. And if you feel like you still have a lot of confusion, Luvi, then, I have over 300 videos here on the channel to help you. And I also do private coaching. People get results with me from day one. Every session, you're going to get stronger and miles away from where you are today. So I highly recommend you considering that to help you in your healing process. I recommend coaching for all survivors. All right. You can go to my website, LakiaCrawford.com, to schedule your appointment or your session with me. All right, and I also have the support group on Facebook, Lakia Reflection and Progression Crawford, for survivors of narcissistic abuse. That link will be below the video, and it's under all my videos and on the About page. The support group will be helpful to you as well. All right, so hopefully this helps you. Like I said, like this video if it resonates with you or anyone else. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell so that you're notified when I upload new videos, which is quite regularly. All right. I do have a playlist for comment section videos, and that's where this video and all the other comment section videos are under. And that is different from my video requested videos. I have a playlist for that, and that's where survivors and my subscribers flat out ask me, can I do a video pertaining to this or that topic? And I agree to do it, and I put it under that playlist. All right. Under this comment section is just me deciding that their comment should be turned into a video, because I feel like other survivors or people will benefit from me doing that. And this way we're getting 2 birds with 1 stone, and hopefully more than 2 birds. All right, guys, so keep doing the work, Luvi and everyone else. And until next time, please take care.